Hello there and welcome to my guide for painting Black Cat for Marvel Zombies. As you can see, the first thing we've done is sprayed them with some matte black spray from Colourforge. And as sprays sometimes miss the areas that we need, we're going to paint over any areas that have been missed with some Abaddon Black. You'll have to take my word for it because I completely missed the camera. I'm then going to use Corvus Black to dry brush all the areas that are going to be black. That also includes the cats that are on her base. And this will be followed by a dry brush of Eshin Grey. To make the cats stand out a little bit, I'm going to give them a quick coat with some Nuln Oil just to darken the recesses. I'm now going to move on to her skin, and for the hero version I'm going to use Cadian Flesh Tone. And for the zombie version I'm going to use some Rakarth Flesh. Then all of these areas will receive a wash with some Reikland Flesh Shade. While that wash dries, I'll paint the wood that the hero version is standing next to with some Mournfang Brown. And the rope that's wrapped around it and that she's got in her hands will be painted with some Skaven Blight Dinge. I'll then wash these areas with some Agrax Earthshade. And while that wash dries, I'll relayer the skin on the hero version with some Cadian Flesh Tone. And I'm also going to paint her eyes as well using some Abaddon Black, followed by matte white, and then finally Abaddon Black again for the pupils. And with that out of the way, I'll move back to the skin. The next highlight will be a 50-50 mix of Cadian Flesh Tone and Kislev Flesh, followed by a final highlight of Kislev Flesh. Then I'll paint her lipstick with some Khorne Red. For the zombie version, I'm going to use some Flayed One Flesh for her skin. Her eyes will be painted with some Fire Dragon Bright. I'll paint her tongue with some Screamer Pink. And then the rest of her skin will be highlighted with some Pallid Witch Flesh. Next, I'm going to relayer the Mournfang Brown just to brighten things up a little bit. And I'll follow that up with a 50-50 mix of Mournfang Brown and Scrag Brown. For the ropes highlight, it'll just be some Storm Vermin Fur. For all the white areas on her, including her hair, I'm going to use some Grey Seer to begin with. And this will be followed by a dry brush of matte white. I'm then going to use some Ironhand Steel to paint the claws on the end of her grappling hook, on her necklace, and the zipper on her suit. And I'll then give those areas a wash with some Nuln Oil. Now I'll start working on the bases, and for Zombie Black Cat she's got a couple of pipes sticking out of the ground, so I'm going to use some Iron Warriors for those. And I'll give those a wash with some Nuln Oil just to darken them up even more. Then I'll paint the brickwork with some Catachan Flesh, followed by a 50-50 mix of Catachan Flesh and Bugman's Glow for the highlight. For the bits of concrete on the roof, I'm going to use some Mechanicus Standard Grey. And then I'm going to use Dawnstone to paint all of the base of the hero Black Cat and the floors for the zombie Black Cat. I'll then dry brush all the grey areas with some Grey Seer. I'll quickly paint the rims black with some Abaddon Black, and then wash the base with some watered down Agrax Earthshade. Lastly, to add a little bit of gore to the zombie Black Cat, I'm going to use some blood for the Blood God. And with that, that's the Black Cat painted. A very nice pair of models and super quick to paint as well, as honestly there's not really that much detailing to them and it's mostly just black. Painting the pair roughly took around about 2.5 hours, and as I said, it's super easy and super fast to do. Very nice models as well. The only really tricky part is getting those eyes in with the mask, so you want to take your time with that bit because that can be a little bit frustrating. Thank you so much for watching. If you use this video as a guide, I really do hope it helped, and think about giving the channel a subscribe and a follow, and I will see you next time. Goodbye for now.